Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Tuesday, the 21st of February. Again, electricity issues have us in the beauty of nature in the garden, with the sounds of nature, but also the sounds of the suburb. So hopefully it won't be too intrusive. But continuing to read with Robert Murray McShane through scriptures, today we read Luke chapter 7, which begins with Jesus going to the town of Capernaum, where there is a centurion. And the centurion has a servant who is sick. And we're told the centurion heard of Jesus and sent some elders of the Jews to him, asking him to come and heal his servant. And so Jesus goes, and on the way the centurion sends a message saying, you don't have to come yourself, just say the word and that'll be enough. And Jesus does, and the servant is healed. But here was somebody who had probably the best position in the town. He had the most authority. He was probably the most powerful person in Capernaum because he represented the Roman Empire. But no matter what he had behind him, no matter what status he had in the eyes of the world, when his servant was sick, nothing could solve that problem. And so he had to come to Jesus, looking to Jesus and asking Jesus to step in, and Jesus does. And then the next story we have, Jesus goes to a town of Nain, and we're told as he approached the town gate, a dead person was being carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow, and a large crowd from the town was with her. And as they come, Jesus stops them, touches the bier, and says to the young man, get up. And he gets up and is restored to life. But here is a woman who has lost everything. She was dependent on her son. As a widow, her son would look after her. Once he was died, she'd lost everything. She inherited nothing. There were no insurance premiums that had been paid, and something to, there's no unemployment insurance or old age pension or anything. She had nothing. And as she carries the son out, she has the entire town around her. She has a crowd of people. But no matter how much support they give her emotionally, they can't solve the problem. Her son is dead and she is bereft. Jesus steps into the picture and he can help. And that got me thinking of how many times we face problems that we can't deal with, and no matter how many friends we've got, they can't change the situation. And no matter how powerful we are, we might be the richest person or the most influential person or whatever, no matter what our social standing in the world is, there are certain things where that just doesn't help. And in all of those cases, we can look to Jesus, and he can step in, and he can be there, and he can make a difference. So be prepared to introduce him to people you know who might be desperate. And when you get to that point where you think, I've exhausted all the other options that I have, remember Jesus is there. And very often we need to remember that he's there well before we've exhausted the options we have, and turn to him, because he does step into the situation and he does make a difference. Be encouraged by that thought and know that you're blessed.